Instant coffee is far more than a quick substitute for a freshly brewed espresso. It's the result of precise engineering, complex logistics, and years of research into flavor, aroma, and texture. Today, over 1 billion cups of instant coffee are consumed daily around the world. Behind each one is a vast industry, operating 24/7 to ensure that every granule meets exacting standards. The journey of instant coffee begins thousands of kilometers from the factory, on coffee farms in Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, and Ethiopia. Here, in mountainous regions under direct sunlight, coffee cherries ripen on the branches. The flowering phase lasts just a few days, followed by months of development. After 6 to 9 months, the green cherries turn deep red, the sign that harvest has begun. On large plantations, harvesting is automated. Special machines equipped with vibrating arms gently shake the cherries from the branches. One such machine can replace the labor of dozens of workers. Once harvested, the coffee cherries go through wet processing. In large water tanks, the cherries are sorted. Ripe ones sink, underripe ones float. Next, the cherries pass through pulping drums, where the outer skin is separated from the beans. But that's not the end. The beans are still coated with a sticky mucilage layer. To remove it, they are placed in fermentation tanks filled with clean mountain water. Over the next 12 to 24 hours, natural enzymes and bacteria break down the remaining pulp. After fermentation, the beans are thoroughly washed and laid out for natural sun drying. Spread across raised beds or patios, they are regularly turned to ensure even drying. The goal: reduce moisture content to around 11 to 12%. Once dried, the beans are still not quite coffee. They are referred to as parchment coffee. They go through hulling machines to remove the final protective layer, resulting in green coffee beans, the raw material used in production. Each batch is packed into 60-kilogram jute sacks and labeled with the country of origin, bean variety, and harvest date. This enables full traceability, from plantation to the final product on a store shelf. At the production site, the sacks of green coffee are unloaded using robotic arms, reducing the risk of injury and speeding up the process. The beans pass through moisture sensors, and if levels fall outside the acceptable range, the entire batch is automatically rejected. Samples from each batch are sent for cupping tests. A team of trained tasters brews and evaluates up to 100 cups of coffee per day to detect any off notes or flavor defects. Approved beans are sent for roasting, the key stage where the coffee's flavor, aroma, and color are developed. Large rotating drums are heated to 190 to 230 degrees Celsius, while internal paddles ensure an even roast. Roast profile impacts the final flavor. Light roasts retain more caffeine and acidity. Dark roasts have less caffeine, but offer a bold, rich taste. Once roasted, the beans are cooled using a stream of air and moved to the next stage. The roasted beans are ground into a coarse powder and directed to extraction tanks, massive vessels where the grounds are mixed with water at 80 to 90 degrees Celsius under pressure. Unlike a regular coffee maker, these tanks extract the maximum amount of flavor and aroma. The water passes through the grounds multiple times, pulling out different compounds in each pass. The resulting liquid extract is filtered and concentrated into a thick syrup, the base of instant coffee. Next comes the decision point: choosing the drying technology. There are two primary methods: spray drying, fast and economical; freeze drying, lyophilization, more expensive but better at preserving aroma. Depending on the chosen method, the extract is either cooled or heated to prepare it for drying. Either way, this stage marks the transformation of liquid into the granules we recognize as instant coffee. After extraction and concentration, the thick coffee syrup is ready to become the instant coffee we know. But how does a liquid become a light powder or granule that dissolves quickly in water and retains its rich aroma? It all comes down to drying technology. Spray drying is the most common and fastest method. The concentrated coffee is sprayed as a fine mist inside a massive tower, a structure resembling a cylindrical chimney as tall as a 4-story building. At the top is a nozzle that atomizes the liquid into millions of tiny droplets. Hot air, heated up to 200 degrees Celsius, rises from below. In seconds, the water evaporates, and each droplet becomes a dry particle. This is how lightweight, free-flowing, and highly soluble coffee powders are made. Freeze-drying, or lyophilization, is a premium-grade method. First, the coffee extract is frozen at around -40 degrees Celsius, turning it into solid ice. Then it's placed in a vacuum chamber where water sublimates, going directly from ice to vapor without becoming liquid. This gentle method preserves flavor, aroma, and natural oils to the fullest. The result? Large porous granules with a matte, crystalline appearance. Immediately after drying, the granules are sent to vibratory screens, multi-level platforms that sort the particles by size. Too small? They're sent for regranulation. Too large? They're ground down. Only perfectly sized particles move on. This stage matters not just for appearance, but for performance. Granule size affects how quickly the coffee dissolves, how it's packaged, and even how it's perceived in taste. Next up, packaging. Instant coffee is extremely sensitive to oxygen, moisture, and light. So every jar, stick pack, or vacuum pouch isn't just a container, it's a protective barrier. The product enters an aseptic zone, where no outside air or contaminants can reach it. For jars, the air inside is replaced with nitrogen gas, an inert environment that prevents oxidation. For stick packs, laminated films with aluminum layers create a hermetic seal. Packaging speed is astonishing, up to 400 packs per minute. Robotic fillers measure the exact weight, the packaging forms and seals, and every unit is labeled, all in seconds. Every package receives a unique tracking code: batch number, packaging date and time, production line, ID. This information is uploaded into a central database. If a complaint ever arises, the company can instantly trace the product's full journey, from coffee cherry to sachet. Such traceability systems are mandatory on global markets, especially in Europe, Japan, and the US. Before shipping, every batch undergoes a final inspection. And it's not just visual. The product is sent to the factory's in-house laboratory, where technicians test dissolution speed, moisture content, color, taste, caffeine level. A sensory panel conducts organoleptic testing, brewing several cups of the instant coffee and evaluating aroma, flavor, aftertaste, and strength. If even one parameter fails, the batch is blocked, reworked, or scrapped. Once packaged, the coffee moves to a fully automated warehouse. Here, temperatures are kept at 18 to 22 degrees Celsius, with humidity below 50%, critical for preserving aroma and preventing moisture absorption. Finished pallets are stacked and routed based on region: Asia, Europe, North and South America. Before shipping, each load is reviewed to meet local regulations: labeling, dates, language, ingredients, and nutritional data. All must match the destination country. You open a sachet, pour the granules into a cup, and add hot water. In seconds, you have a steaming, fragrant cup of coffee. But behind that speed is slow, meticulous work. By hundreds of specialists, across dozens of departments, each granule has traveled thousands of kilometers. From a coffee tree, through roasting drums, vacuum dryers, laboratories, packaging lines, to your kitchen shelf. Instant coffee is flavor engineering at scale. It's designed to be consistent, stable, and instantly recognizable, whether you're in Tokyo, Berlin, or São Paulo. Factory R&D centers develop formulas that preserve aroma even in extreme conditions for soldiers, climbers, commuters, and travelers alike. Wherever you are in the world, a single cup of instant coffee can bring back the familiar comfort of warmth, routine, and flavor. That's the true power of instant coffee, to be fast and still feel real.